You asked to be shrunk, as if you had a choice. It's so cute when you think that. Let's see, what kind of mood are we in today? I muse out loud. Just kidding. There's something I've been itching to try out on you. That last sentence gives you butterflies in your stomach. I think we'll start you at 3 inches tall. And just like that, you're tiny, without any chance to prepare yourself for it mentally. You can't suppress a tiny gasp. You feel so pathetically insignificant, completely dominated by the entire world and everything in it. Completely dominated, especially by the massive giant in front of you, the one who has absolute control over your size at all times. You know you will forever be whatever size he wants you to be. Your heart is pounding as I reach for you and grab you by your ankle. You shriek as you're suddenly hanging upside down and flying. You can't tell whether you're feeling fear or happiness right now. Is there a difference? You love the feeling of not knowing what's next, having no idea what I'm going to do to you. When you're this size, you feel everything so much more strongly. Every emotion and every physical sensation. You're constantly overwhelmed, and constantly overwhelmed by your feeling of your own powerlessness. Your giant is better than any roller coaster. Except, instead of thinking of him as your giant, you would rather think of yourself as his adorable little tiny love, who he can use however he chooses. Still holding your ankle between my finger and thumb, I bring you up to my face and plant a kiss on the sole of your tiny bare foot. That's for luck, which you're going to need. And it's a little taste of the reward you'll get if you're able to reach your goal. Rather than putting you down in the straightforward way, which would mean putting you down head first, I cup my other hand around you, let go of your ankle, and gently lower my cupped hand down. When you reach your destination, I tilt my hand upward, causing you to roll out of it, and you find yourself lying in a bunch of cloth. You've been deposited into my lap. You pull yourself into a sitting position and look up at me expectantly. Now here's your challenge and your reward for completing it. My voice sounds like the voice of a god to someone as tiny as you. You will get all the kisses you want from me. You can even cuddle with my lips if you want to. But first, you have to reach my face. You want to reach those lips so badly. I smirk, knowing my teasing is getting you hot and bothered. You have to climb me all the way up, starting from my waist, going up my chest, and up to my face. If you can touch my lips, you win. Your whole body feels warm as you blush furiously. I'm obviously enjoying your shyness, and I wink at you. From where you stand, looking up into what might as well be your sky, a wink looks like a total eclipse of the moon. It's not going to be a perfectly vertical climb. Of course, I continue. We need to give you a reasonable chance of success, while still making it a worthy challenge. I recline backward in my seat, enough to make the climb a bit more manageable, but the angle is still steep enough that you can't just walk up it. And we need to make it a little more interesting for both of us, I go on. The challenge is time sensitive. I know I'm going to enjoy watching you struggle. I can't tell you how cute it is to see you having such a hard time with every small obstacle you encounter at that size. But if I feel like you're taking too long to make progress, or if I decide that it would be entertaining for me, you will lose some of your height. Your face feels hot again, and your heart is beating faster. I grin. I'll shrink you even smaller than you are right now, in spurts, a little bit at a time. The longer it takes you to reach my lips, the smaller you'll get. This will be both a good thing and a bad thing for you. On one hand, the smaller you are, the easier it is for you to climb. There are more things to grab onto. You'll be able to find a lot more handholds and footholds in my sweater as the threads get bigger. And eventually, you would even be able to use my pores as footholds. But the smaller you are, the more distance you'll have to climb, which will make it take longer. So you'd better move quickly. You can't move. You're frozen in place, with a combination of fear and excitement. You stare up at the most intimidating slope you've ever seen. I have a short, neatly trimmed beard, so you're reminded that at least you'll have lots of things to grab onto when you reach my face, if you're able to get that far. I start to wrap up my explanation. If you take too long, you'll get so small that I can't even see you. If that happens, I'll just wait for a little while, with the knowledge that you're wandering around, lost somewhere on my body, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's something so adorable about that thought, even if I can't actually see you, and I think I will enjoy that situation quite a bit. Knowing you, something tells me you would enjoy it too. I will truly become your entire world, very literally. You won't be able to see or feel anything but me, which is appropriate, because you are my entire world. You feel like crying, tears of happiness and tears of anxiety all at once. How is it possible that you can feel so tiny, insignificant, and unimportant, yet so important and so precious at the same time? I finish narrating. If you get too small, and I lose track of you, I'll grow you back to 3 inches after a certain amount of time has passed. But only after you've had enough time to fully realize just how helpless you are. The consequences for failure have to actually mean something, right? Oh, and if this takes a long time, I might actually fall asleep by the time you get to my face. If that happens, you'll have to get my attention somehow. If you can. Let's hope I don't accidentally inhale you. I laugh. And, while you're on your way up, there might be 1 or 2 earthquake tests, just to keep you on your toes. Because I can, and because it's fun, and because you're small. You never thought you would love being threatened and being called small as much as you do right now. If everything goes well, we might have you try this challenge again sometime in the future. Except next time, I won't be wearing a shirt. You didn't think it was possible for you to keep blushing, but it happens again. Who needs a gym membership when you've got a giant to be your climbing wall, right? In fact, there are so many different workouts that you could do on my body. Maybe we should have some fun exploring all those possibilities later. I trail off, then snap my fingers. Your time starts now. Better get moving. You're startled as you feel the cloth you're standing on rubbing against the soles of your feet. You realize it's because the cloth is getting bigger underneath you. You've just gotten smaller. It's hard to estimate scale accurately when you're this size, but you think you've become about a head shorter than you were a second ago. The shrinking spurt has stopped. For now. Time is running out. Go.